You ready? I've been ready. What are we waiting for?
Let's face it, there's a lot of trash talk in basketball, but the great teams let their performance do the talking. Like Ford F-150 with Pro Power on board, a class-exclusive industry-first feature that turns your truck into a mobile generator and leaves the competition speechless. Ford F-150, official truck of the Grizzlies. Greatness starts here at your Mid-South Ford dealer. Class is full-size pickups under 8,500 pounds, GBWR.
Sonic Radio. Welcome back to Sonic RNDIO. That spells radio with me, the CIO. This just in, the new Sonic $1.99 menu lets you build a crave-worthy meal for just $1.99 an item. Whether that's a creamy shake, crispy tots, or a quarter-pound double cheeseburger. This just out. Ostriches. They're mean, not very cute, and in my opinion, way too big for a bird. Don't miss the Sonic Fun 99 menu. 5 items, always $1.99. Live free, eat Sonic.
Tax not included. See menu for details.
Why are you dressed like that, CJ? What the hell is wrong with you?
CJ, can you do some high knees?
Is that a towel he has tucked in his shorts? Why are we allowing this?
It's a towel.
Why are we allowing this?
Tune in to the Jessica Benson Show with CJ Hurt live every weekday at 8 a.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
Grizzlies fans know it's the team that gives you the edge. Big River Steel does too. And much like the Grizzlies have recruited legendary talent, we want you to be part of our team. Are you ready to be part of something legendary? Then visit www.bigriversteel.com. That's www.bigriversteel.com.
Kroger shoppers and Grizz fans. Want exclusive last-minute discounted ticket deals texted straight to you? Sign up with the new Kroger Buzzer Beater deal. Fans can sign up by texting Grizz to 636-479 or visit your local Kroger store in the Delta Division and scan the QR code. By signing up, you agree to receive recurring automated promotional and personalized marketing text messages from the Memphis Grizzlies. Consent is not a condition of any purchase. Message frequency varies. Message and data rates may apply.
Catch us if you can at Southland Casino Hotel and win your share of up to $1.8 million in free play and prizes. Join us for drawings every Saturday in May, June, and July. Each month, over 900 winners will take home free play or drive off in a new car or motorcycle. Be there for all 6 grand finale drawings and try to catch us if you can, only at Southland Casino Hotel. Must be 21 up. Play responsibly. For help quitting, call 800-522-4700.
You want to be where you think the University of Memphis belongs.
Yeah.
Can you imagine what the next step is?
I think we're positioned, we're ripe for success. And so what I don't want to do is make an intermediate move if it's not going to position us well. And so my job is to make sure when that opportunity presents itself and the circumstance is right, that Memphis is prepared 100% to take advantage of it.
The Gary Parrish Show, live on weekdays at 10 a.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
Live from downtown Memphis, this is the Chris Vernon Show on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app. Now, here's your host, Chris Vernon.
It's noon on GrindCityMedia.com. It's Chris Vernon Show. Welcome. It is the Wednesday, September 10th, 2025 edition of the show. Today on the show, Jessica Benson from The Jessica Benson Show will be here as she is on Wednesdays. Seth Wickersam, the acclaimed author of the new book, American Kings, a biography of the quarterback. He is going to join us as this book came out at your local booksellers yesterday. Jessica Benson and Seth Wickersham both on the show today. We got a bunch of stuff to get to. It is a Wednesday. It is beautiful outside. Smile. Let's do it. Turn it up. Yeah. Hope everybody's having a good day. All right, bunch of stuff to get to on the show today. Not the least of which is getting ready for the upcoming college football weekend with Jessica Benson and Seth Wickersham joining us on the show today on his new, highly acclaimed quarterback book. Before I get to anything, I'll welcome John Roser to the show. John Roser, a.k.a. the Cologne Ranger, the Body Fred Bandits in your sec. Johnny Backpole, Johnny Bearcat, the Grim Roser, John Asparagus, Johnny Neck Carb, John Lance, he's Yogi Roser, he's Dr. Thunder, he is John the Polluter.
Ready for a dad joke? You ready for one?
Yep.
All right. When 50 Cent was hungry, what did he do?
He got rich or died trying.
He 58.
Devin Walker's here. He's the microphone mangler, Senor Quasadilla, Mr. Math, Navajo.
He low-key likes it.
The reporter, the photographer, he's Walker 93.
Roger, that may be like top 3 worst jokes you ever told in the show. You told a lot of bad jokes, so I think that may be top 3. Oh, we might have to check on our dog, Verno.
Our dog?
Our dog, bro. Our dog, Brent.
That's my dog.
Hey. Yeah.
That's my dog.
Yeah, he crashed out last
That's
night.
my dog.
Yeah, bro,
Who did?
Brent Rooker.
Brent Rooker, bro. We have to check on our dog, man. Jalen, play the video.
Brent Rooker had a crash out moment last night. Good
Watch
grief.
our guy, man. We got to check on him. Make sure he's good around here, man. Look, well, I don't know what happened here. Snagged it. I think he hit the Trevor Story. Snagged it. Watch our boy.
Yep.
Oh, man. That's all right.
It's probably because he's playing. It's the frustration of the season.
He's also playing baseball in Sacramento.
It's just the frustration of the season.
Like, keep your head up, Brent. We're rooting for you.
Yeah, we're rooting for you, Brent. No crash outs around here. All right, so I got to tell you, before we get to everything that is going on today, I will say that last night, Thursday night, Friday night, Saturday night, Sunday night, Monday night, all football nights. I watch football every single night since last Thursday evening. And so there were no nights that I was going to be watching anything else. Last night was the first night that there was not going to be a football game on. And I had saved it back. So I did watch that Unknown Number documentary on Netflix last night.
Snap.
Me and my son, I went and grabbed William, and I was like, all right, let's watch this. And then it got a little more vulgar than I intended for my son to be watching it, but nevertheless, then I buried my head into watching all the videos of everybody talking about Unknown Number. I'm not going to spoil it for everybody that hasn't watched it. But
I want to ask you, were you surprised?
So here's the problem: is I had not been completely unaware of the documentary, so I had an idea of who it was prior to, but I didn't know specifically. I was thrown for a loop because the individual is in the documentary, right? That I didn't know until for sure. Until the very moment of the reveal with the IP addresses and everything like that. But it certainly, look, I understand why it's had a cultural hold on people and why it's been Netflix for so long now. I did watch it last night, and it is all I'm going to say is the people that scare me the most in life are not like the raging psychos. Right? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, they're weirdos and they, live in some kind of like, like there was this guy one time when I lived in a neighborhood years ago, and he would like open up his garage and there would be like stuff falling out of it. And I'd be like, all right, this guy is terrifying, right? Like it was packed to the brim with just crap. And it was like, somebody that you walk in these you see these videos of like where they show up at the person's house who's been like kidnapping people or like as a serial killer or something, and they're like their house is in total disrepair and they're like just crap everywhere. Like they're exactly the kind of person you would think are doing the dastardly deeds of which. Yeah. The people that scare me the most are the people that can be truly psychotic on, like, one element of their life is truly psychotic, and they can compartmentalize it completely. Right? Yeah. And be like, live a normal life the rest of the day. Kind of crazy. Those are the ones that are the scariest, right? Yeah. It's like the Ted Bundys, right? Yeah. Where everybody says, oh, he's a really good looking guy and he's super charming and his whatever. But then he's like this, right? Like that's.
It's like the Jeffrey Dahmer dude to me. Like I watched that documentary, he was like super normal, like living his life, but he was like eating people at the crib.
Right. Yeah. Or and this is true of many of the serial killers in the past, right? Like those are the ones that are the most terrifying, right? Yeah. They're just living amongst you, and then there's at least a segment of people that can't believe that this person is doing this dastardly thing, right? And it's like the people that can completely compartmentalize being a total psycho and being normal the rest of the time, because you got to be normal the rest of the time, right? Nobody thinks you're
a cuckoo.
Like I am infinitely more terrified of them than the person that's just a psycho.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like those are the ones that are truly terrifying.
They're the ones who where it's like, oh, you're weird. Like,
stay away from you
know how to. You're like, okay, I can just avoid that person.
Yes. But you can't avoid the person that like seemingly is a normal.
The total sociopath.
Right.
That you.
Those people are terrifying, and that's obviously the story of.
I watched it too, Deb. I didn't know it was that exact person, but I was thinking it was along that line. In that same area, I was like, it's got to be.
So now we've all watched it because it's had this cultural foothold on everybody, and so we watched Unknown Number last night. Woke up this morning and was on the way to school and had our morning discussion about football. First thing I said is, I asked William if he wanted to go to the Arkansas game, and he was like, absolutely. So the Memphis-Arkansas game, and I said, they better not screw this up this week. And so speaking of fearful, guys, I'm getting a little fearful.
You sound like Bennett Doyle, bro.
No.
Bennett Doyle told me yesterday when I left the office, he's like, Dev,
here's what I'm going to tell you. This is what I'm going to tell you, okay? One of the things that I do, and especially in preparation for Wednesdays when Jessica Benson's going to be coming on with us, is I take a look at, that the games and the lines pop out on Sunday. Well, now we get to Wednesday, and they're going to get beat around a little bit, and then obviously they'll get beat around again before the weekend, okay? And so you see, okay, here were the opening lines for all of these different games, and here's what those lines stand at now. Bro, I saw a 3.5 this morning. Memphis Troy.
Oh, Lord.
That thing was 6.
Uh-oh.
Right? It was 6 when it first opened. So that thing's getting beat down to 4 and 3.5 at different places. Like, is it going to kick off at 3? Like, what is happening? Like, I told you it was in my depressed on Monday that the Clemson-Troy game, because Troy was up 16-0 in that game and then ended up losing, but I think 27-16, right? So they got run out the rest of the way. But they were good enough to be up 16-0 on Clemson, and they had their share of turnovers, et cetera, et cetera. And I was like, does that tell us more about Troy, or does that tell us more about Clemson, right? Because Clemson in week 1, and the other thing is LSU did not mow down their opponent as in the same manner that most of the teams that we saw in week 1 that were elite level talent teams, like you saw, it was just like this, like assembly line of 65-0 games in week number 2. That was not so with LSU. So is that a function of those two teams played each other? Now you've got a letdown game. There's again, it's hard to figure out in week 2 what that means, right? Between those two teams. It was even hard to figure out in some cases about week 1 and like how those teams looked versus how they looked when they played again in week 2. But on the Troy front, it's like they were in a real game against Clemson and they were up over 2 touchdowns against Clemson, and Clemson's line, for that matter, was at 6 when it opened against Georgia Tech, and that thing's down to 3.5. And that's partly because of the Haynes King news, and he practiced fully yesterday, and they expect him to play. The other thing is everybody is terrified to bet against that Georgia Tech coach as an underdog. This guy has been one of the great underdog coaches in the world, with a lot of outright wins as well. And you know they're a physical team, and they're kind of fun to watch, and like you could see something like that happening. But that line's gone down as well. But this Memphis thing, it's like, gee, like everything is set up for this unbelievable home game against Arkansas in the Liberty Bowl. Maybe the last of those kind of games we're ever going to get. Like, I know that sounds horrible, but like, seriously.
That's the honest truth.
We're not getting a game like that ever again.
Yeah, these teams run
until we get into a bigger conference, you're not going to get a caliber of opponent like that.
You're not.
Because they're just not going to be willing to, because they've moved to 9 SEC games, and it's just, you know, these teams in these big conferences, especially as they expand their conference schedules, are just going to want to play 3 games that they can for sure win, because they got to win 3 more to even get bowl eligible while they're playing against all their conference foes. And so you've got all that set up, and you've got this opportunity to prove yourself as a non-Power 4 school against a Power 4 opponent who, you know, more than likely is going to be coming off a loss, or at least a great game against Ole Miss. But they might, I mean, I don't know. That line's gone down too. That line opened with Ole Miss a much bigger favorite than they are right now. I think it was 8.5, and now it's down to a touchdown, and it might get down less than that. Who knows? And so anyways, you're kind of getting them on a little bit of a letdown, right? Because the Ole Miss game is obviously bigger than the Memphis game. Like, it was all set up to be perfect. Bro, don't do that. I don't want to see. Why is this line plummeting? I would feel so like I wanted that line to open at 6 and then pop up to 6.5. That line is, I saw a 3.5 this morning.
Yeah.
So that's not unfounded fear, Devin. I'm just telling you, this line. Somebody smarter than us said, ain't no way Memphis should be a 6-point favorite against Troy. And I'm like, damn it. I want to be a 6-point favorite against Troy.
Makes you feel a little bit better. But look, man, look, it's going to keep your head up, bro. I'm afraid of we mentioned the look ahead spot of like our team seeing they're playing playing Troy this week. Like, yo, we got Arkansas at the crib next week, bro. Do we really need to try hard? But you do need to try hard because Troy will beat you. They will beat you, bro.
Well, I
so
mean,
Memphis, lock in. Please do not spoil the next weekend. Please.
That's the only thing. It's like all you need to do is take care of it. We need to go to this game undefeated.
And it's a perfect spot, and it would be a perfect spot for Memphis to pull that upset because that Arkansas,
right?
It is sandwiched between Ole Miss and Notre Dame.
Right.
For them.
Yes,
like
bro.
it's a perfect letdown spot for them.
Don't ruin it.
Perfect.
I will say there will be a battle, the battle of the bands at Troy Stadium. Have you heard about the bands? The name of the bands?
No.
So you know Memphis is called the Mighty Sound of the South. You know what Troy calls their band?
What?
The Sound of the South.
Oh.
Just the sound. So we got the Mighty Sound of the South versus the Sound of the South this weekend in Troy, Alabama. So yeah, let's see what happens.
Well, also look, and then that comes out after we played against Georgia State, and it was Pounce versus Pouncer.
Yeah, see,
this is just a thing this year,
that's
huh?
The thing, yeah, it's the thing.
Wow,
bro. We're making a thing this year.
It was Pounce versus Pouncer in the mascot war, and now it's the Mighty Sound of the South versus the Sound of the South.
Yeah, we got. Well, shout out to man. We won last week.
Yeah,
take care of business this week. We'll feel all right. They said that Smith is good to play.
C.J. Smith.
I have not heard anything about Dorsey yet.
Yeah.
We're trying to figure out if Dorsey is going to be able to play this weekend. Hopefully, he will be able to play.
I hope so.
You need him this weekend.
I hope so. Yeah. So anyways, that line went down. As I mentioned, the Clemson line went down. Pittsburgh, and I talked about how that West Virginia game with them losing to Ohio kind of messed up the backyard brawl between those two teams, even though it's still a great one, and they really do hate each other in Pitt and West Virginia. But that line has shot up because Pitt is awesome. Like that's one of those teams. I think Pitt is fantastic, and now that line has shot up against them. The Georgia line has gone down. Have you seen this? It opened at 6, and it's 3.5. Get a little full belief with Joey Aguilar and the boys.
Joey Swaggerlar, man.
Yeah,
Kirby Smart has they've owned them. Own Tennessee, so
you think this line is not a smart line? You think this is going the wrong way?
I bet Georgia.
You got a bad line then.
Rosie, to your point.
You got a bad line.
I bet it.
Hey, who cares? You're going to be looking at a World War II museum anyway.
I'm aware.
Oh, Devin.
Dude.
Wait, he got an itinerary for this weekend?
Dude.
Oh, dude.
No.
An itinerary.
Dude, he's going to New Orleans for that 49ers game. And I said, are you going to be able to watch the games on Saturday? And he's like, no. And I was like, why? And he's like, she already sent me a notes app of everything we're doing in New Orleans. And I was like, what? I was like, so are you not going to be able to watch the games? I was like, she's Ole Miss, right? Like, so she'll care about Ole Miss. He's like, surely we'll be able to watch Ole Miss Arkansas or something like that. And he's like, I was like, so what are you going to be doing? Bro, breakfast, lunch, and dinner,
I can read this
and
stuff to you. Hang
sightseeing is already on there,
hang on.
including a World War II museum. And I was like, dude, you walking through a World War II museum while all these college football games are going on is honestly my favorite thing ever. This guy's gone the last 20 years without a hardcore girlfriend, and now he's going to be in a World War II museum.
Yeah.
On a football Saturday. It's like, why'd you decide to do this last week, bro?
Dude.
It was like bad games. Why'd you pick last week?
Because the 49ers and Saints play this week in New Orleans.
Roser, and this is why I love him, and this is why we've been together for 20 years. He's a lot like me, which is like, we're pretty unplanned, go with the flow.
Yeah.
Hey, we're going to fly in, and then we'll figure out someplace to eat, and we'll figure out someplace to stay, and we'll figure out whatever, and we'll figure out what we're going to do that day.
Yeah.
But, like, it ain't like that,
nah,
right? Anymore.
She got a whole schedule, bro. Like,
no. This is not like we're gonna go to New Orleans and we'll figure it out. We're going to New Orleans and we need to be there at this time because we have a brunch reservation.
No. So lunch when we get there, Stein's Market and Deli.
It's already.
She knows I love my favorite sandwich is a Reuben.
Okay.
There's a couple things here.
Okay.
Couple of things here. I do love a Reuben.
Okay.
If I eat a Reuben for lunch, I'm not going to go walk around and sightsee. I'm going to need to sit down somewhere and turn on the TV and watch football. Other thing with that, it says 10-minute drive from the hotel. We will have just been in a car for 5.5 hours. I'm not trying to get in a car and drive anywhere.
He's so mad about this note tab.
The other thing is
the whole itinerary.
Yeah, the other thing is the place we're going for dinner. It's a 9-minute drive.
9 minutes?
Just go drive around downtown New Orleans on a Saturday night? Like, what are we talking about?
How does she calculate this?
How does she have the drive times in there?
She looks it up from the hotel to the place.
You got to Uber.
And then Evangeline's
bro.
Cajun. It's a 10-minute walk for brunch on Sunday. And then other things to do are the World War II Museum.
Other things to do.
Oh no! Walk Lake Pontchartrain, whatever that is. We're gonna go walk by a lake. I'm like, can I get the YouTube TV app on my phone?
Devin, we got to FaceTime him while we're watching Tennessee, Georgia.
Explore the French Quarter in Jackson Square. Trust, I have explored that before. Drunk, but I've explored it,
bro. When you're
gifts for our moms in the French Quarter, and then I added.
Will you please send us a picture of like a World War II helmet while we're watching Georgia Tennessee?
And she has not said anything about this because I don't think she's seen that I added the last one. I added Caesar's Palace, New Orleans. That's what I added.
That's getting great. You're going to be taken off as a collaborator.
What is this, Rose?
You're not a collaborator on the notes app anymore.
I will bet you 2%
you are going to do what you're told.
Yes.
Probably, yes.
And he's gonna be like,
you know what?
all right,
whatever.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
She gonna take a selfie.
If it makes her happy,
how do you feel?
I mean, like, look,
how do you feel about missing Tennessee, Georgia for the World War II?
I mean,
By
not
the way,
great.
Chad is saying that walk is long, Rosa.
I'm sure it is. No, she doesn't know this when she does these things. I sent her a text and I said, "Hey, Georgia, Tennessee's at 2:30. Ole Miss, Arkansas is at 3 or is at 6:30," and she said, "Oh yeah." Let me check, because she knows people in Athens. She's like, let me see if I can get us tickets. I said, we are not going to we're going to be in New Orleans. This is just me telling you, like, hey, I kind of want to watch these games, you know?
Oh, Rose would be depressed.
But it's fun. I mean, like, it's fun.
And then you have a Sunday morning brunch planned, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Yes, before the game. Is the game at noon?
Game's at noon, yeah. Because we're driving back that night after the game.
That's what I'm trying to sign my plan. I'm trying to figure out if I want to drive to Nashville Saturday or Sunday for the game.
Yeah.
Did you buy tickets? Did you buy tickets online?
I bought them a month or two ago.
Where?
SeatGeek.
How much?
With taxes, fees, it's like $600, $700.
Are you lower bowl?
Yeah.
You bought good seats.
Lower bowl, like corner of the end zone.
You bought good seats.
Dude.
You know what?
If you want to sit second, third level
$700
on
for a Saints game,
dude, the expensive seats in NFL stadiums are not on that lower bowl.
Right.
They're always the second, third levels, 40 to 50 yard line. Those are the high dollar seats because that's where you have the full view of the field.
Right.
Like, where I am, like low bowl corner of the end zone, like you don't have, like you can't tell if they're on the other side if they're running for a first down or not.
Oh. You know what's crazy?
But I'm on the visiting side. I'm on the 49ers side.
I was just thinking about this. I have never been in the Superdome.
Really?
Yeah, that is super crazy. After all the events I've been to, and I just have never gone to like the Super Bowl or the Final Four there when it was there.
I've never or fourth time.
I've never been to a Saints game.
Yeah.
I've
never been to a Saints game.
Or the Sugar Bowl. Like there's a myriad of things I could have gone to.
Final Fours, like they've had all of it there.
The New Orleans Bowl, the first Memphis Bowl game.
That's
the Williams joint.
I went to the New Orleans Bowl and I went to WrestleMania 30. Those are the two things.
I don't think I've ever been. I've been to that rad ass basketball stadium they have there.
Oh my gosh, dude.
Smoothie King, horrible,
buns,
horrible,
dude. I saw the
Maybe I have been in the Superdome.
You probably have.
I've
been one time.
Maybe I have.
I've been one time for a bowl game.
Tulane,
yeah. No, Tulane plays at.
Oh yeah, but I feel like they played a game. Maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah, but Roser. By the way, I looked up that lake, bro. You finna be walking for a long ass time.
Yeah, I know.
I looked up the lake.
Walking.
Gonna look at some alligators,
bro. He may be walking from 2 to 7 p.m.
Yeah, that's not
just
happening.
walking.
You're gonna walk. You're gonna.
That's not happening.
That's not happening.
Take your weighted vest with you. Take your Kevlar. Your Kevlar weighted vest. Look at him. Hey, bro, we'll be texting you throughout the day. We'll keep you up to date on all the games that are going on.
Yeah, we got
it's going to be so exciting.
I'm an only child. I have been very selfish for a lot of my life because that's just kind of what can happen. So
yeah, you're coming back single.
If I had to do a couple
Don't say
things
that
she wants to
crazy.
do on one college football Saturday is the two. Georgia and Tennessee play again next year. So I got to do something she wants to do.
Rosa, all I got to do is one thing. I
That's
want you to
fine. I'll
count
go
your
to a
steps.
World War II museum.
Count your steps, number one. And Vernon, by
No,
the way.
you won't.
What?
I will bet. Yeah, all right, how about this? You know what? All these bets that I'm going to make this weekend,
This is
my biggest lock. You will not go to the World War II Museum. There is 0% chance. That's the lock of the weekend.
Also,
she's going to ask you, and you're going to be like, you know what? Let's just go walk around with her. And you're going to try to find a place to find a TV.
Also, we could go to like Archie Manning's bar. Like they have a bar, like he has a bar there, like a big sports bar.
I will say you would probably have the World War II museum to yourself. Yeah, like me and you had the NASCAR museum to ourselves. Devin, remember that?
I got out of that, bro.
Hey,
I got out of that one.
Honestly, my favorite thing ever. Me and Roser went to the NASCAR Hall of Fame in Charlotte, North Carolina. It was the day of the NBA All-Star game, and so that NBA All-Star game, the festivities don't even start until 5:30 in the evening, and so we had all day that day, and so we're like, you know what? That's right next to our hotel. We need to go check it out, so at least we can see it. Number one, the NASCAR Hall of Fame is absolutely awesome, and Roser and I don't give a crap about NASCAR because they have all this interactive stuff. Like we did the zoom, zoom, zoom. They time you and you switch out the wheels. They have all kinds of like cool interactive stuff. They have like the history of NASCAR. So anyways, it's me, Roser, and then the only people we run into are Daryl Morey, who is now the president of the Philadelphia 76ers, and his daughter. And they're walking around as well. And the rest of the place is completely empty.
And Daryl is there for the same reason we are. He's like, it's the NASCAR Hall of Fame.
It's the NASCAR Hall of Fame.
Why not just go
why
check
not
it
check
out?
it out, right?
Why
so
not?
then we get done with the NASCAR Hall of Fame. We've been there the entire day, and we go back to we go back to the hotel, and now we're gonna rest up before we've got to go to the arena for the NBA All-Star game. And I turn on the TV, and I immediately call Roser, and I said, Roser, you're never gonna believe this. There is a reason why we were the only people in the NASCAR Hall of Fame. He's like, what? And I was like, turn it on Fox. The Daytona 500 is going on right now. No one in the world that cares about NASCAR. So word to the wise, if you ever want to go to the NASCAR Hall of Fame, go the day of the Daytona 500. You will have the place to yourself.
So it's not going to have the same
And that's what I'm
feel.
telling you. Saturday, you will be the only people in. What time does LSU play?
So LSU plays Florida in Baton Rouge. In Baton Rouge. So like,
it's cool, Rose. You're gonna be in that John Dolo.
First
you
of
have
all,
a private tour, bro.
well, here's the other thing too.
A private tour.
What if he comes back a World War II historian?
I'm like, but here's the thing I'm thinking of. I'm like, World War II wasn't fought in America. Like, why is there some museum here about this? And why is it in New Orleans? It's like, why do they have a World War II museum? Like, if Washington, D.C. has like a World War II memorial, like that makes sense.
Or
like,
if you
it's
go
our
to
nation's capital.
or if you were like go down the road to Shiloh, this is a battlefield.
Right, but like, World War II is not fought in New Orleans.
I don't know how she found that, bro.
She was, I mean,
Yelp.
you go start yelping.
Yelp.
Things to do in New
I got
Orleans
another
that don't involve drinking.
By the way, Jalen is saying through my headset that it is absolutely huge.
That's what I'm saying.
The World War II Museum.
Really?
Yeah.
Darnell, Darnell said he loves
I
it.
could go see the Real World house. What's the house that they filmed the Real World in? Where that dude was like, "Come on, be my baby tonight."
What time is Florida LSU?
I think it's a night game. There's a lot of night games.
Oh, it's a night game.
Yeah,
LSU,
there's a lot of night
Hold on,
games.
I got you. I got time.
But Ole Miss Arkansas at 6:30. She will want to watch that.
It's 6:30.
Oh.
So you might be in front of a TV by then, Rose.
Yeah.
And Ole Miss Arkansas are going to be at the same time.
I want to know over under how many selfies Rose is going to be forced to take this weekend.
A lot.
How many selfies?
Sightseeing Roser.
How many selfies are you going to be forced to take this weekend?
This is the story of the weekend, honestly, is that me and Devin.
Oh,
why couldn't it?
No, they have. It's in the.
By the way, and by the way, you're traveling all the way down there to go to a World War II museum and then watch Mac Jones play quarterback.
I was thought I was going to say
versus Spencer Rattler, bro.
Throwing it to Joe Tonjes or
Bill,
whatever.
Bill Barnwell tweeted that. He goes, there's no way the 49ers are going to be as hurt as they were last year. Week 2, Mac Jones to Jake Tonjes.
Jake Tonjes.
Come on, man.
That is filthy. They said 5.5 on the say, Rose. I feel bad for you, bro.
Oh, there is a Manning's Sports Bar and Grill inside Caesars.
He's trying to finesse.
He's trying to finesse his way into the casino.
If you can make it to the casino, I need you to send us a photo. If you can find a way to get to the casino.
Yeah, you got to figure out a way to get there.
Hey.
I could look. She's gonna want to watch Ole Miss Arkansas.
Hey, we'll do the 30 for 30. What if I told you you were going to be driving all the way to New Orleans to learn about World War II and watch Mac Jones versus Spencer Rattler?
So
that sounds like a terrible
that
dream.
line has gone down.
There it is.
That's the museum.
There it is.
That actually is really cool.
Yeah, it is cool.
That's
There you go.
Looks like
Why is the National World War II Museum in New Orleans?
I don't know. There's
This
probably
is
a reason.
exactly like Cleveland having the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
You're probably
Why
right.
is
Cleveland Rocks.
Right. Yeah.
Probably a reason.
World War II Museum in New Orleans. I got you. I'm gonna find it.
There you go. Yeah,
I'm gonna Google it.
ChatGPT it, or Google it. Yeah, don't pollute.
Yeah.
Because it's in New Orleans because the city was crucial and was a manufacturing hub for the Higgins boats. The landing craft essential to Allied operations in World War II. It was also a major port of embarkation for soldiers and supplies.
There you go.
Okay.
There you
All
go,
right.
Rosa.
So they did play a role.
Historian in New Orleans.
Huge
resident.
role.
Yeah. Well, they're
Yeah.
right there on the water. Makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah. So
It
yeah,
does.
they made boats, Rosa.
They made boats.
Put the joint in New Orleans. Because
They
somebody
made
got on
boats.
Reddit and they asked the same question you did. So.
Yeah. Because I mean, sure. There's a lot of people wondering that when they first said like, why is the National World War II
Andrew
Museum
Higgins,
there?
Nick Moeller, and Stephen Ambrose are the reason why it's there. They said it originally began as the D-Day Museum, and then there you go. So that's why I taught you some history before you even got there, Rosa.
Yeah.
Well, in fairness, Roser, to your point, we can't very well put the museum overseas. Nobody would want to visit it.
That joint would be closed.
You know what I mean?
Nobody would visit.
They don't want to. They don't want to relive it like we do.
No, they don't.
This was a good thing for us.
Yeah, good thing for us. Good thing for us. Officially showed America's we're a superpower.
Yeah.
Shout out to the World II
our world
Museum.
dominance.
Shout out to them, man.
All right, I can't wait to.
Yeah.
I can't wait to hear the reviews.
Yeah.
No, it's gonna be great.
Yes. And maybe my bet will be that you will be able to watch Ole Miss Arkansas.
Yeah,
and,
we'll watch Ole Miss
and,
Arkansas.
And you know what? If
I'll
you
just say my back hurts.
it's I mean, having 2 back surgeries can come in handy
Yeah.
every once in a while.
I've taken 22,000 steps today. Like, let's
you can
chill
just
out.
do like the
Yes. Yes. Yeah. You
Yeah.
need to lock up.
Yeah.
Lock up.
Just lock up.
I gotta find a place to sit down. Okay. Well, I know this great place where it's got vignette. No, I need a place with a TV.
A sports
It's
bar.
the only thing that can take my
Preferably multiple.
The only thing that can distract me from my back pain.
It's a TV.
Preferably one that's showing all the games.
Pretty much.
And in fact, maybe possibly a video poker machine.
Maybe a Willy Wonka, like Oompa Loompas jumping up and down.
All right, well, are you driving? She's driving.
She's driving.
Oh, okay.
She's driving.
Of course.
Yeah.
Come on. He doesn't.
She's got the bigger car.
He doesn't.
It's 2 of y'all.
Yeah, I know, but I gotta,
That's why it's in the notes app. How far the drive is. Guys
Yeah.
don't do that.
No, we
No.
don't. We really on some I'll figure it out when I get
What do
there.
you? Yeah.
Like someone asked me,
It's
what am I?
Absolutely.
If I go to
that.
Nashville this weekend, if Saturday, like, yo, what do you do when you get there?
You don't know.
I don't know.
You don't know.
Yeah.
Something.
Something's
No
gonna
clue.
happen.
I'm like,
Something.
I'm here for. I know what I'm doing on Sunday at noon.
No, you don't. You know what you're doing every second
like
of every
you ask
day.
me, like, what are you doing then? What are you doing then? I'd be like, I don't know what I'm going to do, but I know Sunday at noon I'm at the 49ers game. The rest of the stuff she has that planned out.
I will say that I am not a planner as well. And this last trip that we went to New York when I stayed at Jacoby's house, by the time we got to the last day and it was just like the last evening and we didn't really know what we were going to do, it was the one time where I was like, next time I'm just going to, because we had things we were doing the other night, right?
Right.
This day we're going to this because this is where Haley wants to go. This night we're going to Hamilton. This day and then we got to one of the nights and it was like, do you guys want to do this? Do you guys want to do this? And everybody had their own opinion and I was like, never again. Like we're not. We ended up going to the Met and looking at the art galleries and Central Park and all that kind of stuff, which was great. But it took a long time to get to the point where we were just decided we're just going to walk up there and do that. And my daughter was like, I don't want to. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
So it's like, if it would have been planned, it's fine. Because it's like, this is what we're doing at that time. This is what we're doing at that time. And so there are times where I wish I was more planned on things, if that makes you feel any better. It's better to have.
Not really, but.
Well, you're right. I mean, you're screwed.
Yeah,
for sure.
You're screwed. It's like,
I mean, it's a great college football Saturday. I don't want to make you feel bad about it, but I mean, like, Tennessee, Georgia, LSU, Florida, Ole Miss, Arkansas.
World War II Museum.
World War II Museum.
Yeah.
It's okay, Rosa.
Memphis, Troy.
Yeah, it's okay. Lock in, Rosa. Lock in.
Georgia, Tennessee. We'll FaceTime you.
Yeah, we'll get you the
Thanks.
FaceTime. Clemson, Georgia Tech in the morning. If you want to tap in, get freaky with it. You know what I'm saying?
We'll FaceTime.
Would you answer a FaceTime from us? What?
No.
Rosa's not a FaceTime guy, bro.
No.
You would answer.
I hate FaceTiming, and I have to FaceTime her when she's out of town, and I hate it. Like, she knows I hate it. She knows I do. Like, she can tell I just sit here with just holding the phone.
I know, because when you turn the camera on, you got a double chin, and you're like, hey,
yeah.
Why do I look like an a-hole?
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to look at yourself.
And it's like, I don't have anything to say either.
Rosa,
like,
you don't have
I mean, not even, if I'm on, like, I don't have anything to say. Like, I just don't. Like, I'm not, like, I don't like talking on the phone, though. Like, if it was not even FaceTime, if it was just calling me, like I don't really have much to say. Like, text me. I'm a text. I really hope she's not listening on her way back right now. She can tell I don't. Like, but I do it because she likes to.
Does she ever say something?
No.
She's like,
no.
What is it like? Are you?
That's fine. Sounds good.
Rosa, you funny as
There's been a lot of that. She's like, you didn't even know what I said, and I'm like, what?
Dude, wait till I come in here Friday in an Army helmet.
Oh, I'm getting all y'all Army helmets at the World War II Museum.
Bring them back. Bring them back. We'll be ready. We'll be ready for war.
Ready for Arkansas, baby. I'm ready for war.
We'll put Tiger logos on them.
War ready.
Yeah.
War ready, bro. Hey,
absolutely.
Speaking of not any of that, you see our boy last night on stream?
Who? John Morant saying IG messed up his life.
Did you watch any of it?
I just saw the clip of him saying IG messed up his life.
Yeah,
I'm not really on IG anymore.
I watched a lot of it. He was really just chilling, bro. Like, we talked.
Is he funny?
Oh, he's just being a human.
Good.
He was actually reading comments in the chat. Somebody was like, "Yo, can you invest in my tree company?" And he was like, "What kind of tree you talking about?"
John Morant.
Because I don't think you would know about the Kawhi thing.
That's hilarious.
So he was like, it was a real human thing. Like, you were talking about people.
Now this was Nye's stream?
Yeah, Nye was on stream last. He was on there for at least like 45 minutes.
And Morant was on there.
Just on there.
I did see. That was really funny when Morant said that IG messed up his life.
Yeah, he was like laughing.
That was funny. That was really funny.
That's super self-deprecating.
You talk about it, bro. Like him, like this whole
that's the humanizing you. Yeah.
His whole
he has acted so much different.
This whole 6 months have been like I can read the comments now and not get mad about it.
Yep.
I can read the comments, but that's a funny joke.
Right.
Because people were saying, wow, I was watching the comments. I'm like, bro. And he was just watching the chat, like watching it. Like people were saying
a lot of squirt guns and stuff. A
lot of squirt guns. A lot of, don't shoot me, 12. He's just like, all right, bro. All right. We're doing those kind of jokes, bro. But he was really just kicking it. Listening to music, playing video games. Right. So shout out to my boy Nine, man.
All right, we got to take a quick break. When we come back, Jessica Benson's going to join us in studio. Chris Vernon Show.
To get to the main event. And you hear the crowd. There's some rumblings in the crowd.
Here we go.
They say, we want truth.
I love how John Cena said when they were chanting, we want truth. You can't handle the truth.
There you go.
I loved it.
He takes me off, boom. Takes the mask off, boom. And it's our freaking truth. God, man, he cost John Cena the match.
Tune in to Grind City Wrestling weekly on the Grind City Media app and on the Grind City Media YouTube channel.
The NBA announced their Dunk of the Year yesterday. It was voted on by the fans, and it went to Ja Morant for his double clutch through Porzingis and Derek White. The call of it was excellent. That game we hung on to for a long time last season, but it was a spectacular dunk.
Tune in to the Jessica Benson Show with CJ Hart live every weekday at 8 a.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
Look at Mississippi State's schedule. They are not going to be favored in a single SEC game.
They don't play
They are only going to be favored. Their over-under win total is 3.5. They are only going to be favored in 3 games this year. That'll probably be Southern Miss, Alcorn State, and Northern Illinois.
It's at Southern Miss, man. I don't know.
And it's at Southern Miss.
They might not be favored in that.
Right.
One.
You don't know what Brett Favre's done to the athletic department.
They have an awesome arena now.
Right.
The Odds Couple, live at 2 p.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
You want to be where you think the University of Memphis belongs.
Yeah.
Can you imagine what the next step is?
I think we're ripe for success. And so what I don't want to do is make an intermediate move if it's not going to position us well. And so my job is to make sure when that opportunity presents itself and the circumstance is right, that Memphis is prepared 100% to take advantage of it.
The Gary Parrish Show, live on weekdays at 10 a.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
What is the biggest Summer League accomplishment so far for this Grizzlies team?
Tuomas Isalo filling out his coaching staff. The Ryan Saunders hiring was essential. It was big time. You have a veteran NBA voice there.
Hey, Grizzlies fans, be sure to tune in to Grizzbeat, where the panel and I break down all things Grizzlies and take a look at the rest of the NBA as well. The show is live every Wednesday, 2 p.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
Preseason Box to Row Coaches Poll has come out. Jackson State sits there at number 1. This is the 3rd time in the poll's history that Jackson State has been the preseason number 1 team in the nation. And then Tennessee State being at 5, that really surprised me.
Get all of your HBCU sports and culture news by tuning in to HBCU Huddle with CJ Hurt and Mike Wallace. New episodes drop every Thursday on grindcitymedia.com, YouTube, and Spotify.
Welcome back to the Chris Vernon Show on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app. Now, back to your host, Chris Vernon.
All right, we're back. Chris Vernon Show. We got to get ready for this upcoming college football weekend, which me and Devin are going to watch while Roser's in a World War II museum. Jessica Benson from the Jessica Benson Show is here every week. You can listen to her and watch her every morning at 8 o'clock on Grind City Media, YouTube, and all the places you get your podcasts. All right, Jessica.
I will be watching the college football weekend from a college football game because I'm driving to Tuscaloosa, Alabama for a little surprise trip to go to the Alabama-Wisconsin game this weekend.
Why?
Because tickets were $45 when my friends looked them up last Saturday, and we said, should we do this? And we were like, hell yeah, we should do this.
What?
So we just pulled the trigger on it.
Have you ever been?
No.
Oh, it's awesome.
I've never been. 11 a.m. kick.
I mean,
so
I don't know how it feels.
different.
Right? It might not be the same mood as it used to be.
We had originally identified the Alabama-Oklahoma game in November, but these tickets were so cheap. And because it's 11 a.m., we're going to get up 5 a.m., get in the car, drive down, not deal with the whole figure out where to stay. Be back I'll watch the evening games back at home and listen to whatever on the way back. So I'm excited. If you have a tailgate in Tuscaloosa, please help. Because
there you go.
I'm searching desperately.
I love it down there.
How many have you been to?
Yeah, I've been to.
You've been to a couple games down there.
Several. I even went to the one that the first one I think I went to. They lost. Georgia threw the touchdown in overtime. Aaron Murray, the one down the sideline, that was unbelievable. I went to Florida. The year I want to say maybe it was Driscoll or I can't remember who played quarterback, but I mean it was a bloodbath. I went to Tennessee when they blocked the kick on the last play of the entire game.
That was Kiffin's year at Tennessee.
Lane Kiffin's year.
Terrence Cody
blocked the kick. I was there
in
the and then I'm trying to think who I don't know. I've been to several. I've been at least maybe like at least 4 or 5. Yeah. It's great.
I'm very
it's
excited.
An unbelievable college football town for sure. It feels
Wisconsin
different.
will become my random team I have now seen twice while having absolutely no connection to Wisconsin. I went to a Wisconsin-Fresno State game when I was a kid.
Oh, wow.
Which was at Camp Randall.
Yep.
Talk about a fantastic environment. And now I'll go to Wisconsin, Alabama.
How
So
about
here we
that?
go. I know. It's so random.
It is so random. It is so random. All right.
All
It's cool,
right,
though.
My first game, the most obvious choice, even though it's gone one way the last 8 years. It is Georgia-Tennessee, 2:30 on ABC. Line down to 3.5, which is the lowest line that it has been for Tennessee as an underdog against Georgia since 2016. Raise your hand if you've been personally victimized by convincing yourself that this game is going to be awesome for many, many years in a row. So it's been 8 years. It is impossible for me to sit here and say I emphatically trust a Josh Heupel offense against a Kirby Smart defense until I see it with my very own eyeballs. Of those 8
But that
losses,
line
4 of them
is
have been with
very
Heupel.
interesting.
The line is intriguing. The Tennessee offense has been rolling. They've played no one. Sorry, husband, Syracuse. But between their game against Syracuse and ETSU, I mean, they've combined for 117 points in their first 2 games. And Joey Aguilar right now has made it look very clear that in our first ever trade of quarterbacks, Tennessee is the winner, and Nico at UCLA is the loser. But it will be very interesting to see if he's able to capitalize, make this a legacy game of sorts. Meanwhile, with Georgia, if you look at their last 2 games against Marshall and Austin Peay, their defense has been great as always. Their offense has been pretty lackluster, but I will not get got. Because this is what Georgia does. Georgia is sneaky. They do this thing where they just completely play possum through their bad opponents the first couple of weeks, and then they come out and look entirely different. So they've had absolutely no run game. You're like, gee, in the last couple of years when Georgia's been in tight games, they've really been able to lean on the run. Maybe this could be a sticky position. No, until I see it, I will not believe Georgia is as
they're loaded with talent, and
every time.
I will say the line shooting down is interesting.
Yes,
it is, because that's not dumb money
and
that shoots that line down.
With Tennessee has 2 corners out,
Yep.
and they might have a couple defensive tackles who are questionable too. When I was reading one of the local beat reporters, so. There
is going to be a year where Georgia takes a step back.
So you better watch.
No, there is. There will be a year, and it might be a year with
with
Gunnar Stockton this year. Who knows? There will be a year where they take a step back.
Yeah. I would say for last week, Lang sent us some of us a text and said, "Hey, take the under on the Georgia game because there's a bad storm rolling through Athens and they've moved up the start of the game and the storm is still going to hit." He goes, "But it's going to be wet. It's going to be muddy. There's nothing's going to happen in this game and it's going to go way under." Sure enough, it did.
All right. Look at Lang with the tip.
Yeah.
Right. Well,
I wish he would have texted me.
I know.
I needed a winner.
Last week.
I needed a winner.
It ended up being a fun weekend of college football last week.
It was
enjoyable. There are 3 other SEC games that I'm sure people will be mad at me for not putting in this spot because I only dedicate 2 spots to the SEC in these 5 games this week.
Your guy better get one of them.
Vanderbilt, South Carolina.
Yes.
Hell yeah, that's the game we're choosing.
Right.
Everyone else, whatever. I'm sorry. 6:45 p.m. on SEC Network. We will see Vanderbilt try to beat South Carolina for the first time in 16 tries. I watched the second half of that Vanderbilt Virginia Tech game last weekend. When Diego Pavia is on the field, you will always have a chance to win a game if you're a Vanderbilt. And they are a better team this year than they are last year. A couple stats for you. Vanderbilt is the #1 team in the Power 4 in explosive pass play percentage through the first 2 weeks of the season. Diego's just letting it rip.
Yep.
Sometimes a little are you sure about that? But he does not care. The offense is a machine. And according to PFF, he is the highest rated quarterback through the first 2 weeks of the season.
Why are they doing this in the SEC, though? This annoys me because I'm going to have to keep up with Ole Miss, Arkansas, Florida, LSU, and this at the same. They're all at the same time.
Yeah, you should have threw one 2:30.
Well, yeah. Well, there's a 2:30 is Georgia Tennessee, so that's fine.
Right.
But why couldn't we get a staggered start? Or maybe just throw one of them at 11.
Yeah, throw it at 11. Because there's none at 11.
They've got
Give me an 11.
Alabama, Wisconsin, and Oklahoma Temple are the 11
you could do one at 11.
Oh.
Nobody cares
that's
about
3.
Oklahoma Temple.
But that's 3 awesome night games, all at the same time.
One
So-
for Vanderbilt, that's 2 awesome night road environments in a row, going from Virginia Tech to
weirdly
South
enough,
Carolina.
they had a common opponent, and Vanderbilt pummeled them, and South Carolina did not pummel them.
Yeah. Lenora Sellers, infinite respect. Love him. He's a freak. You could make the case that he's probably the most feared runner in college football.
Yes.
He has not shown a leap in passing this
Nah,
season
he
thus
been
far.
He's been coasting a little bit.
So again, how much have you shown? Could this be a different story? I don't know. I just think this could be a really fun quarterback battle back and forth.
Wait,
And
where's this game at? South Carolina?
This is in South
I
Carolina.
like over. I like over.
Like the over. Also,
I would like
very.
the
I think they're
under-
both going to score.
That
very
line's gone down
underrated
too because I think it
environment,
started at 6.5, down to 4.5. So
underrated environment that South Carolina State.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Saturday nights there.
Super
yeah.
underrated. People don't give it the credit it deserves, bro.
they do Sandstorm,
Yeah.
right?
Yep.
Yeah.
I remember, I think it was.
Clark Lee was like, we got to go from Enter Sandman to Enter Sandstorm.
I remember. I think it was
That'd
Pat
be lit.
Forty. Pat Forty told us one year at SEC Media, he's like, when they're like really, when they're good and they're excited down there, he said like that stadium like shakes.
That was
Columbia.
Spurrier time.
Yeah, Columbia, boy.
All right,
All right, next up, we got to go with the biggest game in the CW history, the biggest thing to happen on the CW since Blair and Chuck's wedding on Gossip Girl. Yeah, I went back to the good old days.
Speak for yourself, bro.
What's yours?
Since One-on-One was on the channel, man.
Okay.
Shout out to One-on-One.
We all have our favorite times in the CW,
Shout
but
out
it's
to the
about to be USF Miami on a Saturday afternoon, 3:30. It's going to be exciting.
So
Miami's
this-
17.5-point favorites. It might not be exciting.
Well, and this opened at 15.
Yeah.
So
Listen, the biggest thing with this is going into this season, you had South Florida was a hot little, what if they got one of these teams between Florida and Miami? And now they got Florida, and coming off of getting Boise State, like there's no surprise factor whatsoever. You, yes, have a team that has an opportunity to have 3 ranked wins in a row, which would be one of the best starts that we've ever seen from any team, especially 3 teams from 3 different conferences being ranked. But I think they could be gassed. Like that game against Florida was a long, physical haul.
I will say, I'm going to give them credit, though. I came in here and when we did our recap on Monday, I said I was looking for all these, like, fluky ways, but they outgained them. They out-executed them. They out-first downed them. Like, they just beat Florida. Like, there wasn't anything weird about it.
No.
Yeah.
I mean, the only thing weird was the spit.
Yeah.
And let's be honest, they were probably on their way to lose that game if the spit doesn't happen. But alas. So it's one of those things, like, can they take advantage of every single red zone opportunity they get? Miami, they had that big win over Notre Dame week 1. Carson Beck has looked great. They played Bethune-Cookman last week, so they're essentially coming off a bye. Like,
And they got,
no disrespect to Bethune-Cookman.
South Florida got real speed, bro.
If they
ain't Fugazi over
if
there.
they did this 3 weeks in a row, that'd be
They own Florida.
That'd be
Amazing.
incredible.
They should be top. If they win this, they should be top 5 in the country.
It should be number
Agreed.
1.
Yeah,
Yes, number 1. They own Florida.
Nobody has better wins.
Nobody has better wins than that.
Boise, Florida, Miami.
They should be top 10
back.
already. Like they should be top 10 already.
Yeah,
'cause
I
nobody
agree.
has those wins.
Just be ready. Just be top 10 on October 25th for me.
I agree.
When you come to the crib.
All right.
Please, anything.
Come to that bank.
We just don't want them to get. Hey, we just don't want them to get humiliated against Miami.
Yeah, there's been some
I don't care if they
conversation-
lose, but just don't get humiliated.
I want to be clear. I think this is very dumb. There have been some people who have flirted the notion of like they shouldn't put themselves in any position where anyone were to get injured. And I'm like, have you even met Alex Golesh? Like, you think they're not going to? It's week 3. You're playing Miami on the road. An opportunity to have 3 straight wins over ranked teams. That's the stupidest thing I've ever heard.
Also, their whole celebration after the Florida game went
those
viral,
coaches,
which is
I'm
awesome.
sorry. There's absolutely no way that they don't
they're
care
trying to win.
infinitely.
Yep.
They want to make a statement, make a point.
Yep.
Next up, give me Clemson, Georgia Tech, 11 a.m. ESPN. Clemson, just a 3.5-point favorite. I love Georgia Tech in this spot. At home, Haynes King is a gamer. Like, in terms of a quarterback that Cade Klubnik, probably a better quarterback overall, but a quarterback that I would want the ball in his hands with a game on the line, give me Haynes King. Like, that's just, he's a dude. And Clemson's defense is legit, will be the toughest test that they have. He also has been questionable going into this game, but the latest report is he is expected to play. Meanwhile, with Clemson, we all watched the Clemson-Troy game last week in anticipation of, is Memphis have a little bit more on their hands with this Troy team? I think it's more a testament to Clemson's just been such a disappointment. Like, the whole thing of getting Cade back, of having so many returners, was this team should be ready to compete at an elite level off the jump. And we've seen Clemson teams, ease into it in the past, but that wasn't supposed to be
They were
this
down
year.
16 to Troy.
You had everybody coming back. You're supposed to be
dominant.
off the dribble.
I'm trying to find this number about this Brent Key. I said it at the beginning.
Yeah,
he is one of the best underdog coaches in the entire country. Like his number, or as a underdog, he has like all kinds of like straight up wins and
Third best
great
winning
records.
percentage since 1978.
Is that true?
Wow.
Yeah, Brent Key has the third best winning percentage as an underdog since 1978 among coaches with at least 10 games.
I told you.
Yeah.
He's
I mean, and that line has shot down, and I know that's why.
13-3 against the spread under Brent Key.
And we from one of our
as
listeners,
an underdog, that's crazy.
From one of our listeners, Nelson, who shout out to him, runs the Maui Invitational. He's also a Clemson grad, and says, as a Clemson grad, I'm obligated to let you all know that Clemson is in fact awful at football. Bet the life savings on Georgia Tech this weekend.
Yeah.
Easy money.
Wow.
Yeah, he sent me this email yesterday.
You know, I meant to tell you guys, I am always impressed, as you were mentioning, Nelson, who runs the Maui Invitational. Obviously, we got these guys that are here, there, and everywhere. By the way, the guy that, remember I told you when I did that Peacock gig long ago, that guy that was there at the Golf Channel was named Thomas McKee, who was a longtime listener of ours when he was in high school. He's now running the broadcast for TGL, the Tiger Indoor League.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I just saw that. And I met a guy last night named Pat Demento, who he coached for years and years at MUS, and his son was a massive listener of ours for many, many years, grew up here during the grit and grind era. He said, my son was a massive fan of you guys, and obviously still keeps up with Memphis sports to this day. He said he is now the assistant associate AD at TCU.
Okay.
I cannot tell you there is not a week that goes by that somebody does not tell me that their kid grew up in the grit and grind era, loved the Grizzlies, still loves the Grizzlies, and these kids have all gone on to be like successful in sports somewhere or somewhere. It happens all the time.
Yep.
Like that team, and it was so formative. It really was.
Yeah.
Like there's so many of those kids that were in high school from like 2011 to 2015, and they'll like always love the Grizzlies. They'll always love grit and grind. They still keep up with the show and whatever. And then they've created this passion for sports and gone on to like have. I was like, really? The assistant AD at TCU? Maybe we need to head down there.
Shout out to Fort Worth. Yeah. Tap in. Let's go to Fort Worth.
He was a Memphis.
I love Fort Worth.
He was a Memphis kid.
Not really. But.
So does Zion.
A Memphis kid now that's another one that's made good. I love hearing these stories all the time. They're spaced out everywhere. We got Grizzlies fans all over the globe now. Truly.
The brand
Grizz
is global,
worldwide.
man.
Grizz worldwide.
Grizz
Yeah. All
worldwide.
right, number 5.
Okay.
Last
I could
one.
easily.
Yeah, Jess,
I could easily put Notre Dame, Texas A&M. I could easily put Florida, LSU. But I want you guys to take a walk with me. I want you to take a walk with me right now.
He about to take a walk
I
this
could easily
weekend.
put Ole Miss, Arkansas. I want you to take a walk with me.
Oh, it's Troy Memphis?
You'd rather go to the World War II Museum. You'd rather go to the
Guys,
World War II Museum.
Guys,
Oh, it's her last one, the disgusting one.
guys.
All right. In the words of my daughter, when my wife says we're having salmon for dinner,
Oh, wait.
Get ready for it.
What's about to
In
happen?
years past, I have introduced you to the likes of Cam Ward, John Mateer, Diego Pavia, Kyle McCord. Just interesting characters in the college football space. And today I would like to bring a name to your radar. And I'd like you to repeat after me. His name is Jiren.
Jackson.
Cayave.
Cayave.
Okay.
Songa Polutele.
All right.
Songa Polutele.
Yeah,
Okay.
Jiren. Cayave. Songa Polutele. True freshman quarterback at Cal at 9:30 p.m. on ESPN this weekend. It's Minnesota at Cal. And let me tell you about Jiren, because he is 19 years old, a true freshman. He's a southpaw. He's a lefty. He's from Hawaii. He is the first true freshman quarterback at Cal since Jared Goff. 6'3", 225, week 1 stats. He goes 20 of 30 for 234 and 3 touchdowns in an upset on the road at Oregon State. The general manager of the Cal football team is Ron Rivera, which I learned in this little research project.
Cool. All right.
He says that this guy has NFL potential and that he throws off platform better than a lot of NFL quarterbacks right now.
I hate that word.
They play Minnesota this week. I will say Cal's schedule is pretty favorable in that they avoid Miami, they avoid Florida State, they avoid Clemson. The only ranked team they have this season is SMU. This is your early opportunity, because what else are you watching at 9:30 p.m.? You're not even in the World War II Museum at 9:30 p.m. You're just, hopefully you're on Bourbon Street or doing something. But if you're in your hotel, you just flip that television on and you say, God, this Jiren Cayave Sangapulutele, he grew up in the same neighborhood.
JKS.
He grew up in the same neighborhood as Tua. Same territory as Marcus Mariota and Dylan Gabriel, and yet it is he who has the state record for career passing yards in the state of Hawaii.
Future bloodline member.
When he transfers somewhere big next year.
Future bloodline member.
You just remember
Put on your
September
hula
10th.
skirt and get ready for Cal football.
September 10th, 2025 was the day that you became familiar.
Wow.
With
Timmy Chang has
I will
to
say,
leave the island.
Put his photo
You
up,
do
bro.
get,
I've
you
been
do-
waiting
hey,
for one to
you
emerge.
You do get credit for Crazy Legs John Mateer, who is awesome now. I mean, and is now a big name at Oklahoma. So
This is him.
This is him?
He like
This is our
Samoan
guy.
Wiz Khalifa.
Look at him.
What up, Oos?
What up, Oos? It's just me, Oos. It's just me, Oos. Dang White. We got Samoan Wiz Khalifa, bro.
They're calling Cal Kaloha instead.
What's his
Kaloha.
name? What's this guy's name?
I'm still getting used
Come
to it.
on.
So easily.
JKS.
It's Jiren Cayave Sangapulutele.
Can we just call him JKS, bro?
Sure.
Wow.
That's a lot of
There you go.
tongue rolling.
I have to be honest, I've been a little off my game because I was out of the country.
There, you found
there
us
are
one.
A couple
You found
of
us one.
The deep college football
All right.
people have
Okay.
said he's the most impressive quarterback that some have witnessed through the first couple weeks that nobody's talking about, and now you have a nationally televised game. Good old-fashioned
Late
Pac-12
night.
turned ACC/Big Ten After Dark on ESPN. Give me the true freshman at
There you
home.
go. All right.
JB, I might be watching the Canelo fight when this comes on.
Hey,
so.
you know,
We're gonna go. Oh yeah, Canelo versus.
I'll send you the
Crawford.
highlights.
Yeah, send me the JKS
I'll send you the
highlights.
highlights.
And
I will say he was recruited by Oregon.
there you go.
Hold on now. You maybe
Yeah. Excited about
JKS.
We got a new Samoan.
Yeah,
I'm with it.
the
I'm
new
with it.
bloodline member.
And he's young. We got
He gonna be in the
time.
WWE
Yeah, we
in
got
3
time.
years. He
Nothing
gonna
more
be the-
exciting than a true freshman quarterback that you can
Nothing.
convince yourself
Nothing.
could be the future.
of the
All right.
WWE.
Thank you, Jessica.
Thanks, guys.
All right. Speaking of quarterbacks, there is a new book that hit newsstands everywhere yesterday. American Kings, a biography of the quarterback. The author is Seth Wickersam, and he is joining us today on the show to talk about said new book. I know he's been doing like events down in Oxford with our buddy Wright Thompson, right? When this book has been coming out. I think he joins us now. Hey, Seth.
Hey guys, it's good to be with you, but frankly, this JKS conversation was so good that maybe you should just keep going. Maybe like bump me another half hour. Just keep that rolling.
Did you know about him before Jessica Benson mentioned it?
I did. I went to an event about a month ago in San Mateo, and Mina Kimes, my friend and colleague, did a panel with Ron Rivera and Andrew Luck about the state of college sports, and I heard about him there. So that was, it is a little bit of a flashback, but I think that, I think I'm the anomaly in that sense. I think that most of your audience will be happy to learn about him from you.
No, Jessica Benson always comes in here. She gives us somebody that we need to keep a look at. Last year, she said there's a guy at Washington State named John Mateer that you need to watch. And sure enough, now we're watching him, and he's awesome at Oklahoma. So she usually tips us off beforehand.
Well, and 2 years ago, she gave us, when he was, at New Mexico, she told us Diego Pavia. She told us about Pavia.
All right, so you have spent your life now over the course of the last couple of years digging into the quarterback. First, let's get to how you wrote this book, which is your fascination with the quarterback and this position was very personal to you because of your own high school career. And so if you can, just explain to my listeners kind of how you became so infatuated with what makes a great quarterback and the life of a quarterback because of your own athletic exploits early in your life.
Oh, man, I think exploits is already too strong of a word. I mean, do we have to go there? But yeah, I mean, look, I was obsessed with quarterbacking from a young age, and I dedicated, a chunk of my life to it. I went to camps around the country. And I'm not trying, and I grew up in Anchorage, Alaska. So maybe that had something to do with it being, so isolated from the rest of the country. But I don't want to sound like Alaska's Uncle Rico on your show. It ended for me like it does for most people. And, but the fascination didn't. I think that like something I learned from just my days that had a big impression on me is you don't play quarterback, you kind of are one. It's an entire self-identity that you dedicate yourself to. And there's a lot of pros and cons that come with that. And so, I've covered the NFL for 25 years for ESPN, and I do a lot of investigative work. But for the most part, if you cover the NFL, you cover quarterbacks. And even after all this, I still wanted to learn more. I wanted to understand it on a really deep level at every stage, from high school to college to the NFL, and what it's like in retirement for some of these Hall of Famers. And, I also wanted to know, like, how this weird job became so celebrated and mythologized in American culture. So I wrote it, for anyone who played quarterback. I wrote it for anyone who's cared about them or been fascinated with them. And, hopefully those points, get expressed pretty well in the book.
You have an idea of what you think this is going to be like, and then when you're mirroring these guys and you're around these guys for an extended amount of time versus what it's actually like. What do you think you were most off on in terms of what I thought it was going to be like when I got into writing about about that position versus what it's actually like?
Okay, so there's two things. Number one, so the Ford Pass was legalized in college in 1906, and I thought there would be a slow build from that point to us celebrating quarterbacks as a country, when in fact it kind of took off right away. And that was something that surprised me, is just that, like, there was something about being able to throw a football that captivated our country, even though the idea of it was in its infancy. And I think the second thing, and this was really interesting, is that there's just so much pressure now on quarterbacks, so much scrutiny, that they really have to live in an isolated state that's quasi-detached from reality. I mean, they have to be at the center of their own universe that's really not unlike a politician or a pop star. Like doubt cannot seep in. And so I found that really interesting, because that, first of all, you have to be of a certain mindset to kind of go there, to believe that what you do and maybe you yourself are special enough to merit that type of having the world revolve around you. And then it hardwires things in you that I think are really incompatible with life away from the game, that a lot of these guys have to reconcile later.
Do you think you learned anything about how one becomes successful by watching because you go into even Pop Warner and 7-on-7 where a kid is bawling, crying because he is screamed at by his father. Like, when you looked at them at younger ages in their development, do you think at that point you get a better handle on which ones are going to make it, or the ones that do make it, and what's different about them even from a young age?
No, and it's a great point you raised, because number one, that ecosystem that I just referred to starts at a really young age. I mean, I was at Elite 11, and one of the, that's the premier showcase along with the Manning Passing Academy for high school quarterbacks. And one of the guys there was like, look, we're basically just collecting little a-holes. And so that idea that they're kind of gifted and special and above other people, I think can start and is nurtured at a very young age. And then I think, some of the quarterbacks in my book call them like Instagram quarterbacks, these guys that you see who are throwing a football with no defense and they're blindfolded or whatever it might be. And there are these headlines or taglines on there that say, like, the next Tom Brady, he's only 15, he's ambidextrous, whatever, all this stuff. And like that, I think, is doing everybody a complete disservice, because number one, Tom Brady wasn't Tom Brady at 14. He had to be broken and make himself whole again. And number two, I think that it's like it shows a fundamental misunderstanding of what separates those who can do this, to throw that kind of label on someone so young. But look, our culture, we are fascinated with quarterbacks. We're fascinated with precociousness and prodigies. And at this point, like, if Arch Manning, when he's a young boy, picks up and throws a football, he kind of knows that throwing the football might be the simplest thing about being a quarterback, and dealing with everything else might be the most complicated thing.
So this is the thing. Like, every year it comes around to the NFL draft, and we say, well, it's still like a crapshoot. Still, people don't know whether or not. And as you mentioned, Tom Brady, even at that time, I remember reading that old Michael Holley book, right? Patriot Reign years ago. I'm sure I'm familiar with that. And he has the story about how they're debating in the room whether to take Tim Rattay or Tom Brady, right? So, like, that's how much they knew about the guy that ended up becoming the greatest. And do you think after spending this much time and diving into this position, do you think you personally are any closer to figuring out who's going to be good on the next level and who's not?
I don't know, but I mean, if I were, I would be so rich that I would have flown in my private jet to your studio, met you in person, and then flown out. But I'll say two things. Number one is that there are some really smart coaches the past 15 years in college football who have figured out a way to exploit the difference in the hash marks. Like, the field dimensions in college football are different. And so quarterbacks in college are throwing to bigger windows than ever before. And it's very successful in college, but it almost makes it worse in the NFL because, like, someone like Bailey Zappi owns the record for most touchdown passes in a season, and he can barely hang on in the NFL. It's creating, like, performance inflation. And then I would say the second thing, going back to what you were saying about Ron Rivera and JKS, he's talking about these off-platform throws that he can make, that Jiren can make, and those are great. But, like, quarterbacking in the NFL is really about executing the mundane. There's a quick story. So Kevin O'Connell, the head coach of the Vikings, he was a 4-year starter in college. He got drafted by the Patriots. He thought he would just play, a year under Tom Brady and take that knowledge elsewhere and have like a 20-year career. And instead, he couldn't hang on anywhere. His career was basically over. And he would get these tryouts, and he would try to make that wow throw, that off-platform throw, and he always got cut because he always thought the coaches, that's what they wanted to see. And then when he became a coach and he really started looking at the position from a coach's point of view, he looked at Tom Brady, Joe Montana, John Elway, so many of their game-winning drives. And what he realized is that, like, they were very basic. And really, it was about moving the chains and maybe hitting one kind of big play. But really, it was about executing the simple things. And he kind of realized right then that as a coach, he needed to think about this position differently. And so I think that, like, in college football, like, we celebrate these quarterbacks for making these spectacular off-platform throws when maybe that's, like, not what we should be celebrating. We should be celebrating the fact that they dumped the ball off rather than and stayed in the pocket rather than scrambled around and tried to throw downfield.
Let me ask you about a couple of other themes that you dive into. One of which is that not all quarterbacks are the same. I think we think of them as, like, the coolest guy in school, the guy with the machismo, the alpha, the whole thing, right? Like the John Elway, and in fact, that is a perfect example of what you use. And then you have a guy that's not like that in Steve Young, right? Who's more of a learner, and you kind of dissect both of those guys. And so this whole idea behind there's not like a template for this is what ends up becoming a really good quarterback. So if you can just kind of explain what you learned when you dive into these different guys and the way that both Hall of Famers, both super successful, but not alike at all.
No, quite different. And I mean, John Elway knows no way through life other than being able to throw the ball where he wants, when he wants, whatever he wants. And Steve Young was different. And Steve Young was an unbelievable athlete who had to learn how to be a great quarterback. And he's also kind of proof that it can be learned, which frankly, I was really skeptical about, to be honest with you. Like, I kind of thought that maybe there's like 8 arms a generation and half of them have the work ethic and the luck to, make it on the biggest stage. But, when he went to BYU, he went to the biggest passing college in the country at the time, and he didn't really know how to throw a football. And he would ride home with Jim McMahon, who of course had that kind of alpha personality and then some. Jim McMahon was the starter and Steve Young was the backup. And he would look at his radio because he was convinced that a superstar, college quarterback, this god, listened to a radio that most human beings or mere mortals couldn't listen to. So Steve Young is a fantastic quarterback philosopher. And he also later in life had to learn, after he learned how to be a quarterback, he learned how to be an artist. From watching Joe Montana and applying those types of traits. And I think that going back to what you were saying earlier, we were talking about earlier about the off-platform throws, we look at Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes and Lamar Jackson, and we think that they're these incredible improvisers when in fact they're John Coltrane at the Village Vanguard in 1961. I mean, they are absolute masters. And then when they improvise, they're doing it off of a PhD level of knowledge. And so it's fundamentally different than like, you know, kids who kind of scramble around and wing it deep. Like these guys are playing on a level that very few people understand.
There's a method to that. Like when we see the
Absolutely.
play and we go, oh my God, he's Houdini. Can you believe he made that play?
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, of course he made that play, right? Like he's prepared for that play.
Absolutely. Right? And I mean, again, I think that like it quarterback is the job in America that we care about, sport, at least job in sports, but maybe overall, it's the job that we care about most and know about least. And so, you know, the book is my attempt to help people understand what it takes to do it and what it takes to live with it.
All right, let's talk about the super talented ones that fail. Do you learn anything about that in all of your research? Is there a common thread between the ones? Is it typically off the field stuff, right? Like because every year, and you're at that Elite 11, everybody at that Elite 11 can throw the hell out of the ball, right? And they're all supposed to be the next big thing. And in fact, I remember going into this season, you'll find this interesting, Arch Manning, who we'll get to in a minute, but his year, we went back and looked at 24/7 Sports, and he was the number one player quarterback in that class, right? Every one of those kids behind him, all the way until we got to the kid, Avery Johnson at Kansas State, every single one of them is on a second school and some of them on a third school. And that's that's of the top 10 quarterbacks in that class. He's the only one that is still at the same school. And some of them will go on to be successful and some of them have already possibly flamed out. And so I am fascinated. They were all supposed to be great. For the ones that didn't, is it more on the field stuff? Is it more off the field stuff? Is it a combination? What did you come any closer to figuring out why guys don't make it?
And of course, Arch Manning, you know, he's barely played. Like a lot of people were saying he should transfer. So, so there's about 16,000 high school starting quarterbacks in the country any given year. And, you know, one maybe from each class will end up in the Hall of Fame, maybe. And so how do you survive that winnowing? Okay, so I think a lot of it has to do with luck, because frankly, like injury luck, luck in terms of who you surround yourself with, the coaches, surrounding teammates. Some of it is just natural selection. Like some of the guys look great in high school and they look a little bit worse in college, and then they obviously can't play in the NFL. But there is a complete mystery about, look, when you have spectacular flameouts, you know, those are pretty easy to diagnose why, and it's usually because mentally they couldn't handle the fame. I mean, the book is about American ambition and American fame, and that's a scary thing for a lot of people, and a lot of people just can't handle it. Like Zach Wilson, for instance. I mean, remember a couple years ago, they scored 3 points against the Patriots, and he was asked, you know, kind of a cliched question about taking responsibility for the loss, and he kind of punted it. He refused to kind of do that fundamental thing that quarterbacks are supposed to do, which is eat crap in front of the media for no matter win or lose. I mean, that's your job. That's, you know, part of the quarterback job description, and he couldn't do it. And so you have those things, and then you also have like things that are so small and imperceptible as to be almost unfair. Like, do you guys remember when Matt Ryan was playing the Patriots in the Super Bowl and he was hit by Dante Hightower in that strip sack in the great comeback? Mm-hmm. Like, he did something on that play called hitching, and that's what quarterbacks and quarterback coaches call kind of like freezing for a split second. And he did it on that play, and that's what allowed Hightower to hit him. And look, there's a gazillion things that went wrong on that play, but when they looked at it, they were thinking like, God, if he had just pulled the trigger on time, he would have had an open receiver and might have had a touchdown, and that might have put the game out of reach. But instead, he hesitated for a split second. And like, people look at that hesitation, that split second hesitation between those who become indisputably great and those who are, you know, very, very good. That it's like as close as you can possibly get. And so, you know, it's all of those things combined. And, is that fair? I don't know if that's fair or not. I kind of think that maybe it's not, but it's also kind of just reality.
Spent a lot of time around Arch Manning. You obviously saw his first game at Ohio State of this season, and he came in. You want to talk about pressure, burden, legacy?
Yeah.
Like, he's got it all in spades. Spent a lot of time around the kid. Tell us what you learned about Arch Manning and then kind of how this has gone through the first couple of weeks.
Yeah, I mean, you talk about a kid walking into fame. I mean, the moment he knew how to throw a football, and the moment and I describe it in the book, it's in the spring game when everyone kind of looks at each other like, oh my God, he's the next one. He knew that this is the reality he would be living with, and it's completely unfair, but it's also just the way the world works right now. I've really got into his recruitment, and, there are some fascinating and ruthless moments that happen in it. But I think that, the fame and the expectations hovers over everything. Like, his dad thought that University of Virginia might be a good place for him to play because his older sister went there and it wasn't a football crazy school. And he could kind of blend in and just be a student. One of the reasons why he picked Texas, in addition to the head coach being the play caller and the fact that there would be continuity there, was that he thought Austin was big enough that he could blend in. And then he got a little bit of action last year and he called Uncle Eli and said, how do you deal with fame? Because this is already beyond what I know how to handle. Look, I think Arch is going to be a very, very good college quarterback. I think he's still learning how to be a college quarterback. And what he ran into at Ohio State was an NFL play caller against him and Matt Patricia, who learned under Bill Belichick how to really make life difficult on quarterbacks. And, even though Arch didn't play great in that game, if he had hit that crossing route on 3rd and 5, as they were driving down the field, they might have tied that game and ended up winning it. So even though he didn't play well, he was still right there with the chance to win the game. And I think that a lot of those issues will be fixable. I personally think Texas got outcoached more than he got outplayed.
What'd you think about him as a kid? Just being around him.
Yeah. I mean,
what's he like? What is he like? I mean, he is kind of, because he's not so super vocal. We haven't seen a million Arch Manning interviews. We've seen more commercials than we have interviews.
Yeah, I think that he's really intense when it comes to his teammates and really a good leader. I think that in a lot of ways, if you're looking for his best qualities, I think he's a really good leader. I think that the players at Texas respect him. The fact that he hung around even though he wasn't playing and was willing to, wait his turn. And I was with him for senior week, and I'll never forget his senior night game. He was the pregame meal. He was sitting with the freshmen, and he was talking to the freshmen the entire time. He could have been talking to his buddies, or he could have been by himself, whatever it was. And he was visiting with the guys who weren't even going to play. And I think that I think he has a really good charisma and sense of self. Like I said, I don't know if that's going to mean he's going to be a great quarterback in the NFL, but I think that it bodes well for him just as a human.
Yeah. Made a lot of headlines you did with this book over the Caleb Williams stuff, Seth. And the whole story is about Caleb Williams and his dad trying to not have Caleb Williams be the starting quarterback from the Bears that we watched on Monday night. If you can, just kind of Cliff notes it for my audience, kind of the lengths that were gone to try to make it so that Caleb Williams wouldn't be the quarterback in Chicago.
Well, I mean, what he wanted it's not unreasonable, right? It's right. What 22-year-old doesn't want to have some agency over who their future employer is? And I think that, when he was in high school, they worked backwards. Once they realized he was really good, they worked backwards from first pick in the draft. I mean, everything was wired to give him the best chance to be the first pick in the draft. And then once he got there, once it was obvious he was going to be the first pick, no, I don't think either of them were initially thrilled about Chicago, especially Carl Williams. And, the question facing them was do we do what John and Jack Elway did, or what Archie and Eli Manning did, which is make a situation so untenable that they have to trade you. And they explored every legal option you could, including, could he play in the United Football League for a year and then be a free agent? But, those things weren't going to work. I think that what was tough was that Ryan Poles, the GM of the Bears, said, look, we're drafting you no matter what. And so the question facing Caleb was, are you going to nuke the city of Chicago and make this really tough? And he wasn't ready to nuke the city. He liked his teammates. He liked, the city of Chicago. And when he got around the Bears organization, he was feeling pretty good about, he wanted to be part of like the rebuilding process. Now, sadly, his rookie year, just about everything went as poorly as his dad envisioned. But even though they had a tough game the other night, I'm really bullish on his chances. I think that it took a year, but they got what they wanted, which was like a really smart, innovative offensive mind who really his success is tied to Caleb's success.
You're banking on him. You think he's going to be good?
I do. I think it just we forget the NFL is a developmental league. Like in some ways, quarterbacking has never been harder because of the fame and the pressure and stuff like that. In other ways, it's never been easier because, quarterbacks play right away. There's all these factors that go into, the offenses from college are transferring to the NFL. And so there's just a lot of, they're not getting the physical pain that they used to get. So in some ways, playing quarterback has never been easier. And so I think we expect everybody to come take the NFL by storm when, as I explained earlier, there's a lot of fundamental differences between the two games, college and the NFL. And, it's still a developmental league. People can get better in the NFL. Who you are on the first day of the season isn't who you are as a quarterback. I guess it can be in some cases. But with Caleb Williams, I tend to think he's going to figure it out. And I think that, by November of this year, my gut tells me that we're going to forget about, we'll look at week one like it was a glorified preseason game.
Last thing before I get you out of here, so many people know you from your NFL coverage. I have got to know what Seth Wickersam was thinking when he was watching North Carolina versus TCU.
Oh, God.
I mean, as someone with intimate knowledge of Belichick and that whole deal and so many of those characters that you were around for so many years, as you're watching that unfold and they're giving up 42 straight points or whatever it was, I mean, I would love to have been on the couch with you just to hear what you're thinking about the whole thing and Belichick standing there on the sidelines now.
I mean, I think that the fundamental thing that the question that people had for Belichick is that even though he's, the greatest professional coach in modern history, is the system that he had in New England, which was basically finding the right pieces and plugging them in situations where they can be successful. Does that work in college where the talent discrepancy is so big week to week? And I thought that he would be someone who would figure it out. And, I think he still will. But it was pretty obvious that, he said it. He told ESPN before the game, we're not close to being a good team yet. So I think that he diagnosed the situation pretty accurately. But he did. He said that.
He called the shot, huh?
He did. And I think that maybe we should have listened.
They looked miserable. I guess they got a week 2 win, right? Is it crazy, though? If I would have told you 3 years ago that he'll be on the sideline at North Carolina, what would you have said?
Oh, I would have believed it because.
Oh, really?
So David Halberstam, the great journalist, late great journalist, wrote a book on Bill Belichick. I want to say 2005 or 6, and he said that he thought Belichick would end up spending his final years coaching in college. That was always something that maybe he wanted to do when his NFL days were over. Now I didn't quite see it happening the way that it happened. And obviously the way things ended in New England still bothers him to this day, the way the past couple of years went. And you can tell that's very obvious. But I'm not surprised at all that he ended up in college. I think that he always wanted to look. The thing that Bill is so good at is that he's such a great teacher. I mean, he can simplify football from a place of superior knowledge that very few people can do. And I think that I've seen him talk to college students before, not college football players, but college students in auditoriums and whatnot. And he just has a good rapport with that. And I think that explaining the game and teaching is something that it's a club he's always had in his bag. And it's not surprising at all to me that he would want to take it to a university. He's always liked college campuses, but a university where you're working with some pretty smart students and having a chance to kind of impact their lives more than you do in the NFL, which is a pretty mercenary league.
Well, maybe you get to write about it somewhere. He banned everybody from the Patriots. He hasn't banned Seth Wickersam, has he? Are you allowed in Chapel Hill? Are you allowed?
I haven't been to Chapel Hill for a year and a half, but I'm sure that I could walk over there. And look, I think that he'll figure it out. And honestly, I really want to, when they play Clemson, it would not surprise me at all if they end up slapping around Dabo Swinney's offense. We'll see, though. Who knows?
His name is Seth Wickersam. The name of the book, American Kings, a biography of the quarterback. You can go get it at any of your local booksellers, Amazon.com. It is everywhere. Great work, as always. Thanks so much for coming on the show, Seth.
My pleasure, man. Good to see you.
My man, Seth Wickersham. Go get the book, American Kings, a biography of the quarterback. And you have been familiar with Seth Wickersham for many, many years as a senior writer for ESPN. And it is crazy. I did not even know that there was a portion of the Halberstam book years ago about Belichick that said it'll end in college. Because I don't think anybody would have ever expected that. It's still weird.
Yeah,
it's still weird, right? To see him on the sidelines at North Carolina, and especially.
Has he gotten his first win yet?
Yeah, they got a win last week,
20-3 against Charlotte. I thought the Caleb Williams stuff he said was interesting because it was almost like we built Caleb Williams up this year. Well, it's Ben Johnson, so it's going to be different. And you watch Monday night, and the first drive, there's some really good stuff, and then it just kind of looked like
the first 15 plays. The
and
first
then
two
after
drives,
that, it looked and so many people are quick to jump off that. Just because it didn't work week one, give it time with Ben Johnson, and let's see by the middle of November.
Also, Vikings may be awesome.
They are.
We talked about Monday. Dude, J.J. McCarthy is Sam Darnold. That went 14-3 last year.
Here's the other thing. We know if you are spending pennies on your quarterback, which in the grand scheme of things, they are spending pennies as compared to the $45 million and $50 million that other franchises are spending, you have all that money for the other 52 guys. Mm-hmm. And they, by all accounts, their other 52, besides the one guy, is absolutely loaded. There are some people that think they have the best 53-man roster talent-wise in the league. But that's why it was so I don't want to say controversial, but it was so question-filled of, you really going to turn this thing over to a rookie? But the truth is, if you can, how many times have we seen it? We saw it with your guy Brock Purdy. We saw it with Russell Wilson back in the day. Bro, if you've got a young quarterback.
Dak back in the day, too.
If you've got a young quarterback that you're paying, pennies on the dollar to compared to many of his peers, I mean, there is no greater advantage. If they can deliver. And you know what? And now you're even seeing it. It has now crossed over in the salary cap era, especially with the first and second apron. It has crossed over in the NBA. I made the argument years ago that the Grizzlies should load up while they've got John Morant and these guys on rookie contracts because it's like having a rookie quarterback. Yeah. And now Oklahoma City, that was for years and years, it was too young. Yeah. You know what I mean? You're not ready to win until you're that. Well, they've got the one guy who was 26 or 27. The rest of those guys are rookie contract guys, right? And it's now going to become way harder come next year, and the year after that, and the year after that.
They got Hartenstein, they got Caruso. They're like, we're going to go get these guys right now.
While they're all getting paid pennies. Yeah. And so that's what they've done in Minnesota. So, they may end up being good. Anyway, on the Caleb Williams thing, his dad, one of the quotes in the book is, Chicago is where quarterbacks go to die.
I remember. Yeah,
that's crazy.
Which is true.
There is
true.
Justin Fields looked really good for the Jets.
He did.
Justin Fields did.
Shout out Rex Grossman.
And I was like, damn.
There's some stuff. Ben Solak I think he has some video on his Twitter feed of it from Monday night. But dude, some of the stuff Brian Flores' defense was doing, how they were disguising everything. It's dude, that would confuse anybody.
Yeah,
that Vikings team's awesome.
That Arch Manning stuff was interesting too.
Yeah.
The part trying to figure out the fame.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because he's saying a part of the quarterback position is being famous.
Yep.
And like Arch,
I'm not ready to deal with.
I'm not ready to be
it's hard.
famous. I thought that was like super because you watch him like he don't have Instagram. Does he have social media?
No,
I don't know.
So it's like
he's on commercials though.
But your last name is Manning, and like you
Oh, yeah.
not being not ready for the cameras in your face is kind of interesting.
You have
'cause,
to
like,
be famous when you're a Manning.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I wonder.
He
if
said he
that's-
called Eli.
I wonder.
How do I deal with this?
Yeah, I wonder if that'll affect him as he kind of goes along because it's like, yo, you're famous, bro.
He's been famous for so long.
Yeah.
It's just the
So
level went
dealing
up.
with it,
Yeah, yeah.
He was like when he said he thought about going to was it Virginia?
Virginia.
So he can just hide.
Yeah.
Like that's an interesting. I'm gonna be watching that now.
Or just be a student.
Yeah, I'm gonna be watching that
You know
because
what I
like
mean?
a lot of guys have the talent. It's more so the mental and being able to handle the fame part, whether or not they can play on the field.
Well, we saw it famously. It's the Johnny Manziel. Like he could.
That's what I'm saying,
he couldn't-
yeah.
like could not deal with the fame. You know.
I thought that was interesting.
Some guys can't.
Look, we've seen it with all manner of NBA players as
Yeah.
well.
Mm-hmm.
Like once you can't live your life,
Yeah.
right?
We see it in Hollywood.
You
in
can't live your
music,
life anymore.
movies.
Yeah.
You,
You
see
don't.
it with
you,
all of
You can never. Everybody wants a picture. Everybody wants an autograph. I mean, can you imagine who's bigger than Arch Manning in a city like that?
in Austin, Texas, bro.
I mean,
you're QB1 in Austin,
like,
Texas.
yeah.
and you're the you're the next big thing, and you're the Heisman favorite, and you're a Manning,
Yes.
right? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm gonna
Like-
be watching how he kind of handle like this season because, like you said, if he's having to call Eli to like, yo, how do I deal with this?
Right.
I want to see how much he can really
Yeah.
compartmentalize and play football.
Yep.
That water almost got me.
Almost. I thought
I
you
think
made it
he'll be
through.
fine because he's a Manning.
Yeah.
Like having the.
Well, he also he has the structure.
Yes.
To be able, I mean, if there's anybody that has better resources.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
No.
a lot of kids don't have anybody to go to.
Yeah.
Right? Their parents weren't even famous.
You got two
Their
Hall of
parents
Famers.
weren't. I mean, he has. And his grandfather.
Yeah. Like Peyton went to it.
I
Like,
mean, you drive around Ole Miss and the speed limit's 18.
Like Peyton went
For
to
real.
Peyton went to Tennessee, a different school, but like Eli literally went to his dad's school to play the same position. Like yeah. So
kind of wild. Anyways, go get the book. Seth Wickersham's new book. If you care about
I thought he was
quarterback-
interesting talking about Steve Young. Of course, I found that interesting.
Yeah, that was the most.
Say that he didn't even know, like he had no idea how to throw the football when he was at BYU.
Just a great athlete.
Just a great
That's what you
athlete.
need, man.
Yeah. Last thing before we get out of here, they did make an NBA rule change today about the heaves. The NBA is implementing a new change. Unsuccessful end of the period heaves will now be recorded as a missed field goal attempt for the team, not the player. So
Tyreek
this
Evans
is
probably
something.
mad as
Tyreek Evans gone too soon. He
He used to
retired too
hold on
soon.
to the ball.
I know. He would dribble out every clock. Though, hey, you know what I resent more than dribbling it out? I resent more waiting until after it buzzes and then shooting. Yes.
Yeah.
That one was always more annoying. Roser will have a interesting perspective on this because they have done this in the league that you call the G League, where this is not that guys are sweating over their G League percentages nearly like they are NBA percentages.
I don't think the contracts are the same,
But have you ever noticed, like, I guess in that league, nobody ever dribbles out the clock?
Yeah, I mean, guys shoot it.
They just
do.
chuck it.
They chuck it. They shoot it. Yeah. I think this is the equivalent, like the NBA, the equivalent to like the NFL trying to not have just a million touchbacks. Trying to like make that part of the game exciting, like get kickoff returns back into it. Like
they
don't want people to just dribble out the clock. They like take the heave. Like you never know.
All right, the best one though. This is what the best one's going to be. The best one is going to be how many of the full court football pass ones do we get?
There's going to be
You know what I'm
coaches
saying?
that draw up plays for this stuff.
No. But also, is there like 7 of them?
Yeah.
Right. Where like a guy throws it in and the guy turns and throws it.
Yeah.
But because a lot of times they'll throw it after the clock.
Yeah,
Yes.
just hold
If
it and
they
then
throw it at with 1 second left on the clock, how many do we get this year that are like end of quarter? Like, oh my God, Sports Center number ones.
I wonder if
I
you
bet
see-
a lot. I bet we get a lot of them. These guys can make those shots.
And I wonder if you see coaches like, I know he's going to be out this year, but a guy like Damian Lillard, even Curry, like, dude, they can shoot from that far.
Oh,
like,
no. You know who
so,
the-
like,
Luke
if
is
you
the king, bro.
No,
you
no,
draw
he's
up
not.
plays. I
He'll be
wonder if some
flipping
of these
it,
coaches are going to strategize it and draw up plays for these spots.
Dude, the king is Pritchard.
Yeah. Oh, Pritchard
Peyton
is.
Pritchard makes every
half-court shot. Yeah,
yeah, these ones. This is the ones I'm talking about.
I mean,
that's hilarious.
That is crazy.
He threw a Jared Jack. He threw it all the way into the stands.
My gosh, dude. He threw that to the upper deck.
All right, well, hopefully we'll get to see a million heaves coming up this year. Get off the phone.
Jaren's calling.
For what?
Jaren, say hey to the people.
Tell him to come in studio with us sometime.
Yeah.
Hey, Jaren.
What up?
Hey, Jaren. All right.
Yeah, we're done, Jaren. I'll call you
we're
back.
done.
See, that right there is why I don't FaceTime.
This is a FaceTime, by the way.
This
It's a FaceTime.
Bored summer.
It's like, hey, what up? Hey, what up?
Hey, there you go.
Ask him if he's running yet.
And then we just sit there.
Ask him if he's running.
Jiren, the chat wants to know, are you running yet? Are you running yet?
Oh, God. All right. Get out of
I'm
here.
gonna call you
All
back,
right. Thanks
bro.
to Devin Walker. Thanks to John Roser. Thanks to Jaron Jackson. Thanks to Jalen back in the studio. Until tomorrow, we gone.